This is perhaps one of the most accurate assessments of the state of Australia at the moment that I have read for quite some time, and I found it in the comment section below one of my recent videos. Hi guys, my name is Kurt Provost, and welcome to Exit West, the channel where we explore the crisis the West is going through right now and figure out if there are any opportunities or options outside of the West that potentially could be more suitable for us. So what was the comment? What was the video it was under? It was under a video where I was talking about time to leave Australia, and I was referencing this book, The Fatal Shore by Robert Hughes, one of my favorite books, absolutely brilliant. Highly recommend reading it if you have any interest in Australia in general, because it really details out the trials and tribulations of the convicts that were brought here and how they managed to just carve out a civilization from what is a very difficult place to survive. And it's a story that doesn't get told very often, and it's the first thing that ever gave me a sense of pride for being Australian or coming from that lineage of convicts. However, there are many downsides to Australia and Australian society, and I think they are summed up quite well in this comment from RW9854. Whoever you are, thank you for leaving this comment, and let's see what you think about it. So he says, I'm assuming it's a he, I'm English. I lived in Australia for a year teaching and was shocked at how authoritarian it was. Parking regulations, double demerits, police pulling everyone over, impossible to get into pubs and clubs, etc. That is something that is really hard to get into. There's so many regulations, we just get suffocated by them. So these are my words, not his. The other thing was the curriculum, even in private schools, was completely woke. I don't know when this was that he was in Australia, but it has been like this for a long time now, and we're suffering the consequences of that. So the obsession with Aborigines, it's interesting to a point, but the guilt of Aussies and the worship of Aborigines was very odd and infantile. So many Asians, Chinese and Indians and Pakistanis, a lot of anti-English British sentiment as well, which I found ominous for the future. Some interesting remarks there. So I expected a more laid-back and sunnier version of England. Was surprised how there was a lefty, woke political consensus combined with authoritarianism and obsession with rules. It's an odd mix. That it sure is. So the caveats. Number one, England is worse in a way. Immigration has hurt us even more. And number two, the weather, food, women and beaches were amazing, so credit where credit's due. Yes, there's, like everything, pros and cons. And I like the quote that all countries suck, some just suck a little bit less. So it's about figuring out what is most suitable for you. And if you are someone who values common sense, if you are someone who is more libertarian on the political spectrum and believes in a small government that isn't interfering too much in your life, low taxation, all these sort of things, Australia is not the place. And unfortunately, I'm learning that that is me, and it is no longer somewhere that I fit in as well as I used to. Now, the pros of Australia are that there is vast quantities of pristine, immaculate nature, and it is something, the landscape is endearing and wild, and is something that I will forever miss if I have to leave Australia permanently. I hope that is never the case, but the way things are going, the summary that he gave is fair, I believe. There are many things that are huge question marks for Australians. How did we arrive here from this proud nation of strong men, I believe? Like the perception of Aussies overseas for a very long time was a country of guys who were laid back but who could work hard, who were liked to joke about, and they could survive, you know. And then you come to Australia and you discover that actually those who are in the positions of power here, who are in the apparatus of the state, are the exact opposite of that. They're more parasitical, they are more woke, they are more um, of a socialist nature. And as a result, Australia turns into this nanny state. And it seems like, at least in large part in the cities, that people are very happy to go along with that. As long as we have our weekends off and we're close to the ocean and we can have a barbecue and a beer, then we are okay. I mean, there's a beer tax or an alcohol tax that goes up twice a year, and it just recently went up, and people grumble about it for a few days and then they forget about it. There's a lot of apathy here in Australia, and it does tie into the video that I just created last week. You can check out here, that's called the freedom cycle, and you go from those stages of apathy to I believe despondency or dependency, and it's a dangerous slippery slope, but is a trend that is in motion and is unlikely to reverse course unless it encounters something that either speeds it up or something rather dramatic, like, let's say, a President Trump getting elected, which is unlikely in Australian politics anytime soon. So if you are coming to Australia and expecting this place of laid back, carefree people who are willing to have a laugh with you, you will be sorely disappointed, because that is not what Australia is today. And as such, it makes sense to keep an open mind towards the opportunities outside of the West, or at least outside of Australia at the moment. And that's certainly what I'm doing. That's why I compiled all the countries that I could find that offer an attractive alternative to the West, and I put it into a residency guide, a cheat sheet of sorts for you to figure out where to go if the country that you're in is not heading in the direction that you're happy with. And you can get it for free through the link below, just for those who are viewing my channel. Or you can look it up on Amazon. It's called Escape Routes, Your Residency Roadmap by Exit West, and you can purchase it there if you would like to support the channel. Greatly appreciated. That is all for today, guys. Keep in mind, I don't believe there are any perfect places out there, but I do believe that there could be somewhere that is perfectly suited for you. Let's go and find that place together.